morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Ironfish Morning Show. I'm Karina Contra-Georges, and here to discuss the impact COVID-19 has had on residential tenancies are two of our team leaders, Luc and Kelvin Wong. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Karina. How are you?
Good, good.
That's good.
Good morning, Karina.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, good. So what a challenging time for landlords and tenants. You know, both parties are facing a lot of uncertainty and confusion, with many still unsure about their rights and responsibilities during the pandemic. You know, I think there's a bit of a divide between landlords and tenants at the moment. It's become a bit of an us versus them situation. And I think it's really important to be mindful that, you know, there are two sides to the coin. You know, on one side you have tenants that are experiencing financial hardship as a result of COVID-19 and are therefore struggling to pay rent, you know, and on the other side you have landlords that, you know, still need to pay their bills. There is a common misconception that landlords are wealthy investors, which isn't always the case. They've still got responsibilities. So, you know, in regards to what support is available to both parties during the pandemic, what is available at the moment?
Yeah, well, totally agree with you, Karina. So I guess with this pandemic, everybody is affected. Not only just to our tenants in particular, our owners are affected as well. You know, they might have lost their job, they might have their hours cut, just as the tenants. In addition, you know, while the tenants paying their rent, our owners have to pay for the mortgage, have to pay for the raise. So, you know, everybody just got affected. However, we are quite lucky that, you know, the government providing with a range of support for, you know, our tenants and our owners. Our owners not as much as tenant, but, you know, we still fortunate to, you know, have some sort of support from the government. For tenants, there's a numbers of supports that the government has introduced over the past few weeks. Tenant can apply for job seeker. They can apply for JobKeeper. Over a week ago, the government introduced the rent relief grant to those eligible tenants. And just recently, overseas students are eligible for up to 1,100 as well, support from the government. So if anyone's, you know, in financial distress and need help, maybe reach out to those websites from the government, or reach out to your property managers in seeking for help to get you through of, you know, your living expenses as well as your rent. For owners, talk to your bank, see what options they have there for you to see, you know, what they can help you to go through this pandemic. Also, the owners are also eligible for land tax. If you agree to reduce your rent for your tenants, then you would be eligible for reductions in land tax as well. But you need to go through with Consumer Affairs website. There's also a form on Consumer Affairs website for our tenants to complete. Then our property manager can register with them. They will have a case recording. Then if our tenants need to seek for rent relief or owners seeking for reductions in land tax, they can get access to that.
Yeah, so they do need to qualify if they are experiencing some form of hardship.
Yeah, definitely. So our office has been in interim before we even find out that Consumer Affairs has created a form for our tenants to complete in terms of rent reduction request. We have come up with a process weeks ago for our tenant to complete a form. Thanks to you and Shannon to creating the form for our tenants to process and providing us with supporting documents. So our property managers has been working very hard, you know, helping our tenants to go through this. I'm very glad that, you know, a lot of our team members, you know, including Kelvin's team as well, are very supporting. Our tenant reached out to us. We don't say no to them. We're working, you know, tirelessness to process their applications, process their documents, do the screening and summarize to the owners. And we've been very lucky to have very understanding owners as well. So far, we haven't got any rejections from the owners at all. You know, some very generous. They offer 30%, 40% rent reductions. Some might be in not very good situation. They might, you know, have financially affected as well. But at least they still be able to offer, you know, 10%, 15% rent reduction. So everybody gets something.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of property managers, what are the biggest challenges they've faced during the pandemic?
There's definitely challenges for our property managers and also for leasing team. I can see they're all very busy, you know, working constantly, you know, for Kelvin's team, constantly on the road, communicating with prospective tenants. For property managers, you know, sometimes working extra hours. Any tenant reach out to them, you know, for rent reductions. They complete the form and then, you know, processing it, helping the tenants, and on top of that, we have the additional vacating and additional leasing to work on. But our team are pretty competitive as well and very capable. You know, working as a clock. You know, just trying to get work done and can help our tenants and owners as much as they can.
Yeah.
But you know, just we come across a couple of experience, quite bad experience, that our tenants, you know, being quite abusive to our tenants, being aggressive and disrespectful, which is not recommended, not very nice. You know, everybody is facing the same situations due to this coronavirus pandemic. So just, you know, try to reach out there to, you know, all of the landlords and the tenants to be, you know, talk to our property managers nicely, sit down and talk together. I think communicating is very important at this stage in these situations. So if we talk between us, sit down, then I think I believe that we can come to a solutions.
Yeah, that's it. And at the end of the day, you know, you're there to help. So
yes,
it's important to be mindful of that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Kelvin, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, just probably with the leasing team as well. I guess with this pandemic, obviously with the Australian government has set up some rules that we're no longer able to do open for inspection, meaning we could only do private inspection, and it's only one-on-one. Therefore, like our leasing agent is actually doing like a lot of hard work, like just try to schedule as much of private inspection as possible. And of course, we will also increase our manpower in terms of like handling all this private inspection and inquiries.
Yeah, yeah. You know, given the current situation, the real estate industry has been pushed into a digital direction, and we've had to rapidly adjust to our new norm. So in regards to the innovations that we're currently using, would you say any have been more efficient than regular practice? And if so, would we continue on in the future with those practices?
Yeah, just to add on as well, like aside from doing the private inspection, now it's a norm that we will record a video, a virtual tour video of the property. So meaning any tenant that is interested in the property, they will be able to look at the property through virtual tour first. And then, of course, obviously after the virtual tour, then, you know, if they are still wanting to inspect the property, they're still able to inspect the property. That's not a problem. Meaning people who inspect the property, they are pretty much like a genuine tenant rather than just going for inspection and, you know, maybe the property is not too suitable after the inspection.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess this tech will stay because this will eliminate a lot of tenant that is not, I would say, reaching the 70–80% mark of interest in the property. And then this will also kind of like reduce in terms of our inspector going out that often.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess my final question would be, you know, do either of you have any advice for landlords and tenants moving forward?
Yeah, I've said, like I mentioned, communications is the key. So we would encourage, landlords and tenants to communicate with us. We have our property managers well equipped with, knowledge and keep themselves up to date. We feel like we are part of those, reporter team, constantly on the website, on Consumer Affairs website, on the Tenants Victoria website, REAV, to seek for information, what is best for our landlords, what is best for our tenants. So, previously, before the pandemic happened, we already got onto insurance, getting inquiries and advice from them as to how best protect our owners, to minimize their loss, and what we can do to support our tenants. So in the past few weeks, we were able to get onto it fairly quickly and respond to the situation quite quick as well. So, if any tenants facing financial hardship, struggle to pay your rent, or, considering of moving out, we suggest that you reach out to your property managers first. I'm very proud that, we have a very supportive team as well, always, in the middle there, trying to help our tenants, trying to help our landlords. So I can say in the past couple of weeks, we've been receiving, hundreds of rent reductions requests from the tenants, and owners asking whether it will be affecting me financially, whether it's gonna affecting my tax purposes, where I stand in terms of insurance claims and stuff. We've been helping them, both landlords and tenants. So reach out to us if you have any concerns. You need to clarify any information. You're seeking for suggestions. Because I guess everybody just facing the same issue, so everybody is showing sympathy with each other. So it's the best key to sit down and communicate with your property managers, put in requests with your property managers. We are here to help, and we are more than happy to help. So sometimes our tenants or landlord might take a different way that we don't help them, but landlord might have their own situation. They might be facing financial hardship, so we're just here to pass on the message. We ask that you be patient and respectful to our property managers, but anytime if you are needing help, then just reach out. I don't recommend that tenants take it the wrong way, because information on the public can be confusing at this stage. They might be under impression that, I don't need to pay rent for the next 6 months because I'm not going to be evicted, which is not right, because at the end of the day, you will be held accountable for it. It's going to be against your credit. The landlord can claim 6 months after, maybe a delay, but they still be able to claim the rent back. Or, recently the law came out giving the tenants the impression that I can break my lease, I can reduce my lease. There is a procedure, and there is for eligible tenants. So if you are not sure, reach out to Consumer Affairs website, reach out to your property managers to seek for advice, to seek for help, so that we can guide you through and minimize your loss.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, just to remain transparent and honest the whole way through. That way the situation doesn't end up critical.
Definitely, totally agree.
Yeah. Kelvin?
Yeah, I guess this is a really hard time for every tenants and landlord. I would say, as we mentioned, more on the technical side of it, I would say for myself, the advice for landlords and tenants, say landlord itself, investment is a long-term. Property investment is a long-term thing. It's not like a short-term thing, where it's at the moment it's probably at a downturn, and like this pandemic, it wouldn't be forever. It's just going to be a temporary. So I guess if the landlord is able to hang on to it, hang on to your investment property, and with the tenants as well, if the pandemic is not affecting yourself, keep looking for property, keep renting properties. As it's a virtuous economic cycle. You don't want the economy to be kind of disrupted, where everyone will suffer even more, I would say. Yeah.
That's it. Well, thank you both for joining me and sharing your insights and providing some guidance. Really appreciate it. To all our viewers, please tune in next time as we discuss how our sales team are navigating the property market during COVID-19. In the meantime, please stay safe and look after yourselves. All right,
Thanks for your time, Karina. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Likewise.